Hi, I am an artist, and I have always wondered that listening to different kind of music affect how you paint stuff. And today, we will try to find the answer using pseudoscience. Which means we will study these two little puddings using the same program, the same brushes, under the same time limit of 2 hours. And the only difference is what kind of music I will be listening to. And the first playlist will be my usual stuff, which will sound something like this. Wow, and it's a free music by the way. And if I have to describe them, they will be game music and anything that has hard-hitting beats. So totally not the vibe for anything cute like this baby over here. And we have a few options here. And the other playlist will consist of cute songs, which has this kind of vibe. And I would say they are more appropriate to the vibe of the actual study subject. And well, that's all. Okay. And after finishing the studies, we will do an evaluation based on 1. The quality of the study, aka cuteness, 2. The amount of time it took, and 3. My mood during the study. And then comparing them side by side in the end so that hopefully we can answer the question. That listening to cute music makes the cute thing I paint look even cuter. So first, let's begin with the first pudding with my playlist of quote-unquote clubbing music. That's what I like to call them, even though, I don't know what actual club music is. While Pasmi was doing the sketch, let's talk a little bit more about my hypothesis for this experiment. So prior to this, I did paint quite a lot of cute things while listening to my usual playlist. Like for example, I was listening to Black Eyed Peas while painting this cute array over here, and they did turn out plenty cute. However, doing this experiment, I wanted to test that if I listen to music that have the same vibe with the painting, like in this case is cute music and cute pudding, would I be able to paint even cuter stuff faster? And if this turned out to be true, like if music that actually affect how I paint, I will pay more attention to what I listen to while painting in the future, so that I can maximize things a little bit more and the paintings can become the best version they can be, like in theory, if that is true. And next, let's talk a little bit more about the puddings themselves. So originally, I did contemplate on whether I should paint the same pudding or not, because usually when doing experiments and testing for the effect of uncertain thing, people will keep all the elements the same across all the tests, only changing the element they wanted to test for. So if this is something more adjacent to science, I should study the same pudding with the same brush and all that kind of stuff, only changing what kind of music I listen to. But wow, the thing is, I don't really enjoy painting the exact same thing like that. And also, if doing that, when painting the pudding for the second time, I will have a better understanding of the reference at that point, so the amount of time it would take won't be accurate anymore. So that's the reason why I was struggling a lot between studying the same pudding or 2 puddings. And in the end, I chose to go with 2 because I really don't want to paint the exact same pudding twice at all. So I tried to compensate for that by trying to find similar looking puddings. But the problem was I found this one first, and I didn't expect how difficult it would be to find pudding with red or pink caramel sauce like this. So after a bunch of pudding photos from all over the place, finally I settled with this option you are seeing right now on the screen. And yeah, they are not exactly the same, but at least there's some bright shade of red in there, so maybe that counts, I guess. Anyway, that's pretty much all the thing I wanted to say about the experiment. Now it's time for the actual study. So in order to not spoil everything, let's do the evaluation in order of my mood during the study first, then the quality of the study, and finally the amount of time it took. So first thing first, my mood. Well, I felt pretty good and normal, which totally makes sense, because again, this is kind of my default environment whenever I paint pretty much anything. So I was feeling really energized, motivated to paint, and nothing out of element at all. And there's really nothing else to say about that, so let's move on to the quality of the pudding. And as you can see, I used my favorite impasto brush pack for this experiment. And I have to say, I didn't really expect how well these brushes can be at painting food. Like how they made the pudding look so insanely delicious, scrumptious even. That's a new word I just learned, by the way. Anyway, please look at how creamy that ice cream was, how shiny, how smooth the caramel sauce was. Like, looking so good, I just want to eat it. Well, past me was having so much fun with the caramel that I kind of forgot a little leaf on top of the ice cream and only remembered about its existence at the 1 hour mark. So on that topic, let's talk about time. Even though the official time limit was 2 hours, I was already feeling pretty good about the pudding when it crossed the 1 hour mark. And to be honest, I was pretty surprised at how fast it came together because, I was painting pretty leisurely, like enjoying the music, sometimes even headbanging along the beat, that kind of thing. In fact, I felt like it finished a little bit too soon, so at the very end, I decided to quickly whip up a quick background to make it look a little bit less bare than it was at that point. So everything was done in 1 hour and 9 minutes. So that concludes the first clapping pudding. Let's move on to the pretty cutie little pudding next. And I began with picking out a color palette, just like the first one. And I actually didn't talk about this in detail a few moments ago, but this was also part of the reason why I didn't want to do the same pudding. Because I would know what color to pick the second time I painted it, and that wouldn't reflect how much time I would realistically take for a study, and in turn, making the result not so accurate anymore. And wow, that is a lot of thought for something pseudoscience like this. Well, that's okay, More effort is always better than less, I guess. For this one though, let's talk a little bit more about the music. And as you can see in the beginning, this kind of cute music is something that I don't really listen to too much. And I did have some difficulties trying to compile this list together. Like, I even had to travel back in my memory to dig up some cute music that I actually enjoyed listening to back then. And after all of that, I only found like 10 songs. While for the other playlist, I actually had the luxury to be picky and it still got pretty long. Yeah. Anyway, I needed to talk about that in order to explain my mood during the second pudding session. Well, at first, I felt fine and pretty enjoyable actually, because I haven't listened to some of these songs in a very, very long time. So it was a nice time reconnecting with me in the very past, I guess. But real soon, I caught myself thinking about some songs from the other playlist. And at first, it was just some fleeting thoughts. But then when the 10 cute songs I put on loop started to feel kinda repetitive, I started to miss my usual playlist a little bit more. And eventually feeling quite restless when I started to notice how fast the time was flying by. But before that, let's talk about the quality of the pudding first, for the sake of consistency, So this one turned out cute, like super cute and super delicious, just like the other one. And I especially enjoyed how the red or pink caramel sauce turned out, like really shiny and slightly transparent. And then a few little punches of bright orange here and there too, just so much fun to paint and to look at. And comparing it to the previous pudding, I think the quality of both was pretty much on the same level. And if we really have to say which one is better, I think it will come down to the matter of taste. Like if you like pink or if you enjoy a more balanced look between deep red and a touch of green, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's mainly about personal opinion. Finally, let's talk time. So as I just said previously, I became restless when I noticed the time. And that's what when it approached the 1 hour mark. And for some reason, I kinda expected this one to be easier than the first one. So when it was almost 1 hour and I still haven't finished like half of the pudding yet, coupling with the fact that I started to enjoy the songs less than in the beginning, I decided to lock in and try to finish the pudding as fast as possible. So at the end, I finished at the 1 hour 11 minutes mark, which was not that different from the first one, but the mood just couldn't be any further from each other. Anyway, let's check out how the puddings look first, and then we will draw a conclusion for this experiment. So let's take a look at the comparison. First, the quality, both are cute, so it's the same. Second, the time, it was respectively 1 hour 9 minutes and 1 hour 11 minutes, so pretty much the same. And third, the mood. For the first one, I was feeling fine, like pretty leisure, and for the second one, I felt quite pressured. So in conclusion, going forward in the future, I will prioritize listening to what I enjoy the most in order to maintain my mood. Because after all, if listening to the quote-unquote appropriate music didn't make my paintings look better or make me paint faster, then I just want to feel my best when painting, Anyway, that's my conclusion. Even though this one was pretty weird, but hopefully you enjoy it. As always, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day/night ahead, and see you later.